Hello there, Diet Rebel Scum and Diet Rebel Scum Curious. Diet Rebel Scum being those of us who have taken the government recommended food pyramid and turned that sucker upside down. We are not going to eat high carb, low fat. We are eating high fat, low carb. This is kind of a check-in. I haven't done a video in a day or two. I've been very, very busy. So I have a acre, just a little over 1 acre of property the wife and I have, and I'm standing on it. And it's kind of in a more rural area of Oklahoma City. And apparently I have let the wild grasses get a little too high for my neighbor's liking, so we got a letter, expressing we need to hack some of this down. So now this acre was completely wild, and it was a dumping ground when we bought it several years ago. So we've actually cleaned it up. So it's not like we took over a nice pristine piece of property and just let it go to hell in a handbasket. No, we bought hell in a handbasket and turned it back into the natural, it's called xeriscaping, but anyway. So, but I let it get real high close to the road, and that's a safety hazard and things like that. So typically people that live out here, a lot of people have wild, a lot of their acreages are wild, but I think just because I have a neighbor real close and it has a wood privacy fence, I'm sure he's probably one of the major ones that was like, damn it, cut your stuff down, because he would have to come around and mow on my side. But anyway, there was that old house here that had burned down quite a few years back, and we bought the property, and my hopes is to live here, have a house built and live here. I'd like to build kind of tiny, have some chickens. But anyway, I built this building over here. It's got an old riding mower in it. But anyway, I'm out here. All this to say, I'm just rambling and checking in. Man, I've been not eating the blatant sugars. No cookies, no breads, none of that stuff. And yesterday I started mowing this. I came out here and started work out here, and it got to 98 degrees, and I eventually ran out of water. But you talk about some serious heat acclimation training. This is related to running. And yesterday I actually ran early in the morning with my running peoples, and I had to get up at 4:30, so I was gassed out and tired last night. Well, I did get together. Now, I did have some low-carb beers last night, so that is a negative. So I did have some alcohol, and boy, I'm hoping I don't regret that today, because it's going to get to 97. I just looked. It's supposed to get to 97 degrees, and the humidity's pretty nasty, but I've got a lot of reclaiming of some property, get this knocked back down and manageable again. We were mowing this a few years ago all the time, keeping it really nice, almost like somebody lived here. We had it, but I kind of like a lot of wildness. There's so many grasshoppers in the nature, and the field mice and things that just naturally live in this is the Great Plains. Oklahoma is the Great Plains. What my acre is here is actually what it was before people, lived on it, and, till we got the land populated. So it's kind of part of my environmentalism ideas, like, hey, we're not supposed to be in a concrete jungle with artificial light and fertilizers all over our yards and pesticides and all that. And, the more ideal ways to keep things natural, But anyway, I'm not mad at my neighbors. I totally understand. When you buy property and you have kind of a community standard that everybody's doing, you kind of need to be in agreement with your neighbors, and that's totally fine. So I'm hoping one of them will come over and talk to me, and there was no name on the letter that we got. It just said neighbors of, and then our address, so anyway, I would like to say hi. I haven't talked to either of these people that live around here. I'm only out here once in a great while, and I haven't been out here for a long time, as you can see, or at least not to mow. But anyway, today's going to be a real hard physical effort. Not running, but I'm going to be sweating my ass off out here. And this time I brought a lot a lot to drink. I got a half gallon of no sugar electrolyte mix with sea salt added to it, and that's half gallon. And then I've got about another gallon in maybe gallon and a half in a big giant cooler that I can just drink from. And I'm thinking I'll either run out of gasoline or I'll run out of water, and I don't know which is going to happen first. But all right, let's make it another low carb day, shall we?